Hello there. There are those out there who think that all we have to do is extend the Article 50 process and have a second referendum and we're back in the EU's greedy grasp. Well, I've got news for them. One of the routes that Remainers believe they have open to them to reverse Brexit is to ask the EU for an extension to the Article 50 negotiation period so the UK can have another referendum, which they think they will win. Then it's all back to the way things were with the EU. But as I keep warning, that's going to be far easier said than done. For a start, to organise another referendum would take many months, if not a year. Now, we may get an extension for a couple of months that takes us up to the start of the next parliamentary term, but anything that takes us into June 2019 would mean that the UK would also have to participate in the EU MEP elections. But the Eurocrats know that, should that happen, then the UK would in all probability send a flood of Eurosceptic UKIPers across to Brussels and significantly shift the balance of power. The EU MEP elections are due to take place between the 23rd and the 26th of May next year, and the UKIP leader Gerard Batten has put the party on alert to fight those elections should our political establishment decide to go down that route. Now, with the rise of the Yellow Vests, which have now also sprung up in Dublin by the way, the pro-EU superstate lovers must be worrying themselves sick about a slew of Eurosceptics entering their parliament next year, without the added thought of another boatload of UKIPers too. The Eurosceptic parties across the EU are already planning on how to use their newfound power when they get into the chamber. Not only that, what would the Eurocrats get in return for their trouble? There are no guarantees that the UK electorate would end up plumping for remaining in the EU, and what if that particular question was not on the ballot paper? They would need assurances that the question of remaining in the EU was definitely going to be there. The EU also knows full well that, despite the best efforts of the UK mainstream media to downplay it, the British public can see what's going on across the EU, with all the yellow vest demonstrations that don't seem to be dying down, as well as the talk of no-go zones in certain areas and banking turbulence to come. And that, coupled with the hard line that the Eurocrats have taken with the UK over Brexit, will almost certainly end up with just about every UK MEP being firmly Eurosceptic. On top of that, there's the question of who would be appointed to the position of the UK's Commissioner on what would still be the EU 28 Commission. And remember that the EU Parliament has to approve the EU Commission as a whole, and the MEPs also elect the President of the Commission. That alone could prove to be an interesting exercise if they end up forcing the appointment of a Eurosceptic commission, or maybe even failing to agree one. So no, I don't think the EU 27 will be offering the UK an extension to Article 50 anytime soon, unless they could get loads of legally binding concessions, goodies and assurances out of the UK in return. As I keep saying, they will be much more content to force the decision onto the UK MPs in Westminster to make, using the power they now have from the European Court of Justice to revoke Article 50 completely and stop Brexit, if they dared to. So I keep coming back to this choice that our MPs could well be forced to face early in the new year, between going out on WTO terms or revoking Article 50, so completely reversing Brexit. But that choice can only be forced on them if they first toss Theresa's deal into the trash can. If those MPs do cave in to the PM and agree to her deal as it stands, they will be putting the UK in a world of hurt, potentially on a permanent basis, and they can all kiss goodbye to their jobs at the next election, even if it is 3 years away. So I think they will reject her deal, unless she can pull a rather sizable rabbit out of a very large hat that would suddenly make the deal properly acceptable, and I can't see that happening anytime soon. Should the so-called meaningful vote by MPs over her deal take place as advertised in the week of the 14th to the 18th of January, and I would not bet on the certainty of that happening, then I think we will find out very quickly after that what Theresa May's real feelings on a WTO Brexit are. You never know, she might even resign. So do you think Theresa May will stick to her no-deal guns, resign, or will she ask Parliament to decide? I've put a poll up on this on my home channel page under the Community tab, and there's also a link to it in the description box below. So please vote there and comment below to let us know what you think, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.